There we go, and we are live. How is everyone doing this evening? I'm gonna get this out on Twitter real quick. Absolutely beautiful day here in northern Minnesota. We did start off the day below zero, and we ended up running up into the low to mid teens. Just gonna give this shout out or get this information out on Twitter. And get all the tags. Cassie, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Just trying to get the word out here. I've got everything clipboarded already on my phone, so I can just kind of go in, tap all the tags, and get that out to where if people want to join in for the evening. We have some of the usual suspects that are, they're driving, they're on their way home, but they still like to support the channel, pop in and have a listen. And let's see, we are, okay, it is up and running. We got our live stream going. So yeah, we did have a little bit interesting day in the market today. One of the big things I noticed, if we go to the S&P 500, which of course that's the major index of the market that we look at. So we got the SPY, and as we can see, let's drop down to the 1 minute. We'll zoom out and look at the whole day. So all the way back to market open, you can see the SPY had a nice run up early in the day and traded sideways, got a little bit of action in after hours. Pop over, do the same thing, check the NASDAQ 100. Same thing. Had a good run up earlier in the day, traded sideways a little bit of a pullback later on, and then a run up into the after hours. And our third major indices is the IWM, which is the Russell 2000. That is the home of AMC. Looked a lot choppier early in the day, but much the same. They did catch support as the day went on. A whole lot of buying and selling. Seeing the spikes, a little bit of a surge pullback, but it continually got higher lows. Did drop back down lower, recovered, and into the after hours, got a little bit of a run going. And then when we jump over to AMC, totally different trend. You can just see, from the beginning, there was a push down, caught a little bit of support, traded sideways for a while. Had a nice little daily channel, intraday channel going, pushed down again towards the end, traded sideways again, and towards the end of the day got a little bit of run up into after hours. So looking at that, I can of course bring up GameStop. GameStop has been trading such low volume lately. Let me get in and see what the actual volume count was. I have multiple screens going, so it kind of helps me to bounce around. And it looks like GameStop traded right about a million shares today. Looking at AMC by comparison, AMC for the day ended up trading 37 million. So looking at AMC, usually have average volume between 65 to 70 million, trading 35. It's indicative of a low volume week. We got Christmas coming up. A lot of regular retail investors don't have a lot of money to put in the market around the holidays. Going out, everything from Thanksgiving on, the Black Friday sales hit. Everyone's running around getting holiday presents and, just buckling down for the end of the year. So, it was kind of looking to be a lower volume day. And we can see this. We can see a lower volume trend throughout the end of the year. Granted, next week after the holidays, it might pick up a bit. And I still think there is a potential that if the hedge funds are looking to exit their positions this year and take the tax write-off, we still have the potential. We still have time in this year for the MOAS to happen. And a good trigger for the MOAS would be, next week, if we happen to see a push down at the end of this week that carries into next week, we could see a lot of people stepping in, after the holidays, having, cash freed up. We could see, a spike in volume as a result of, people having FOMO. They see the share prices going down and think, hey, this is a really good deal. And all it takes is, people see the price start to run up, and, Monday, Tuesday, people buying in from FOMO, price starts to run, and all it takes at any point around there, they see the potential of a run, and one of the hedge funds decides, okay, well, I plan on taking, closing out my position, taking my loss end of the year. And next thing we know, we could have a day where we're spiking 150, 200 million shares and have that momentum continue through the week. So there still is plenty of time left in the year for the MOAS to happen. And, just we are on the 1 minute chart here on AMC, and just looking. Hey, Simon, how's it going, brother? Thanks for popping in. If you look and see, on the RSI, we had oversold and ran up to overbought. This is a half-hour time period where, we caught a huge swing between being oversold and overbought. So, all it takes is everyone, if everyone jumped in at the same time, and I'm not saying, go out and organize it, but if someone saw this run up, and as you can see, looking at the chart itself, just on when we went from oversold to overbought, that is a nice steady incline. That was steady buying pressure this whole little micro run right here. And that looks like it went from about 1430, and if you count this little pullback in there, 1430 to right about 1515. So this is a nice little 45-minute run we went on. Oh, look at that gorgeous spam out of Simon. So just the market in general, and one of the things that I've set up on here that is definitely making me happy. I don't like the fact that we broke out of this upward channel that I had built in. And, you can always adjust, but, I thought at the time that I set that up that it was looking to be a nice channel. But if you look, the support levels, the horizontals, we had this nice little soft zone in here and had the hard zone down to 2250. Well, 2250, held up nicely. We bounced off it a couple different times. I do not, for those who got in and purchased at this 2080 and anywhere on this candle right here, which was actually a 15-minute run, anyone who purchased in on there for buying shares or maybe buying calls for the week, as long as they didn't get too greedy on them, they could have easily cashed out here on the 17th into the 18th on this gorgeous run. And there's Vun for your information. Thank you for popping in, bot. I only wish the bots could hit the like and subscribe button. I have no problem with bots coming in. Yeah, Simon, I know what time it is. Flexing that muscle. But as you can see, we had some great runs here, especially this little run. This run on the 17th, that was killer. That was a 20%. 20%, that is your textbook bull run. So to see it push like that, we know a 20% is achievable. Well, if we start seeing this 20% kicking earlier in the day and have the FOMO and have people, after the holidays when people have more money to potentially jump into the position, that 20% could easily turn into a 50% run. I wanted to transfer money to my bank account, but they changed it so that my bank no longer recognizes. So I bought more AMC, then started transfer to another broker. poor bot. I will not ban the bot for now. Yeah, don't worry about banning the bot. They can pop in here and if you want to flex that muscle and time the bot out, definitely go for it. But Cassie wanting to, let me make sure I get this. Wanted to transfer money to my bank account, but they changed it that my bank is no longer recognized. That is crazy. Now, some brokers and some wallets, if you're in crypto, if you have a smaller credit union. Oh, Simon says I'll be listening. Yeah, not a problem, man. Some smaller credit unions, and I actually ran into this, Cassie. Some smaller credit unions aren't recognized by Plaid. So if you're getting into a crypto wallet or if you're getting into a broker and they use Plaid, definitely check and make sure that your credit union is supported. I ended up going through Capital One online and got a Capital One 360 checking account solely for the purpose of my crypto wallet because I use BlockFi. BlockFi uses Plaid for their funding, so I had no way to actually fund my crypto wallet. Of course, it was for the BlockFi Visa card, which they have no problem with the Visa card, me using my credit union in order to pay my bill. But as far as funding the account, I had to open up a separate checking account on a recognized platform. Now, if you're using U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, those of course are listed, but I've got a small local 4-branch credit union. So for me, I had to kind of work my way around to getting a financial institution that was recognized. But yeah, that's a broker that pulls that. Yeah, that's definitely time to move brokers, and I'm a fan of having multiple brokers. Here on Webull, the only thing that I currently have on Webull is my Shib, because I didn't have any other crypto wallets. BlockFi is the only crypto wallet I have right now. So on Webull, it is not a wallet. You don't actually own the crypto. Pretty much, it's a fancy IOU, which I have no problem at this time because I'm not using my Sheep to go buy stuff at GameStop or buy stuff at AMC online. So for me, it's not too important not having a crypto wallet for Shib. But yeah, that's pretty much all I keep on Webull. I've got another broker that I use for a majority of everything else. That's my main broker. But I also have a backup broker in case something happens with my primary. I've got it set up to where on average it's 3 to 4 days to move from one broker to another. But I've already got another one set up, standing by, to where if I ever had to sit there and grab my entire portfolio and move it, I've got a backup broker already set up. And especially any brokerage that's for free, and some of them will even give you a free stock for signing up. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a backup broker. So I did hear, I didn't really get a chance to look too well, but I did hear Claybro talking about PROG. And here on the screen right now. So with my PROG, I am actually looking to do day trading and swing trading on shares themselves. I have horrible luck when it comes to PROG for options, as I've stated many times on different streams. And PROG, has the potential, even without ripping, they're still a short squeeze candidate. It's still a highly shorted. I think they're over. I certainly think they're over 95% utilization as far as their borrowed shares and short interest of the free float. I don't know those numbers because I don't have Ortex. I usually, I pay attention when other people tell their numbers, and I just haven't been listening lately because for me, PROG has changed as far as what type of play it is. I was playing calls on PROG. Hey, guest name, welcome to the live stream. But I was playing calls on PROG. I actually have calls that are expiring tomorrow, but they went so far beyond worthless not too long after I got them. I mean, it was, I bought them, I blinked, and they were down to $1 on it, and they've been at $1 just forever. So I was sitting holding them just in case PROG decided it wanted to go on a massive rip, because there was no point in getting rid of them. They're only it only went down to $1. They had no value at all. So there was no harm in just letting them sit, but they'll expire tomorrow. Chances are they'll expire worthless. I'm not worried. It was a lotto ticket play, and they didn't cost much. Had they cost me a lot of money, yeah, I would have been upset. But I think when I picked them up, I picked them up for $5, $5 an option, or $5 per contract. So I wasn't worried about that money. That was play money that I had earned from one of my last batches of covered calls on AMC. So PROG, I shifted over to where I'm looking to start day trading shares themselves. And as you can see, so for those who haven't been in on this before, I've got the $2.64 line, the gold line. That is actually my current average on PROG. That is the average cost of my shares. And what I'm doing is that line will always move in concert with where my average is. But I've got two different zones set up here, and pretty much it's my indicators. When it gets down, might as well take the risk on those PROG calls since they're worthless. They pretty much are worthless. I don't think I could dump those calls even if I wanted to right now. So you just kind of waiting to see what's going to play out with them, Simon. But yes, I've got my $2.64 line, and that's where my average is. And as my position changes, I'll move that line, of course. But it was just looking like PROG had two distinct zones where it wanted to play. As you can see, upper zone, lower zone, upper zone, lower zone. Well, as it's moving, when it gets down towards that bottom line, that's my buy signal. When I see it get down, around the 230, around the 220 range, anywhere in this range, that's my signal. Hey, go ahead and pick up some shares. And then I just sit back and wait for it to run back up and get towards this upper line near 290. Well, if you're playing the wheel, and the wheel's a strategy where you have at least 100 share block, and you sell covered calls. And if you get exercised on your covered calls, you turn around and start selling cash secured puts. Meaning that if you're selling cash secured puts at the 250 zone or the $2 zone, you put up $100 of collateral. If it drops down, you get exercised, and those shares are put to you. And both sides of it, as long as you're selling, you're collecting a premium. So it's a way to make a little bit of cash on the side. Well, the odds of getting exercised on those, if you're looking at the $3 and the $2, you haven't hit those zones in quite a while. So you're sitting there waiting, and you're only collecting $5 to $10 per contract per week, because you can play weekly options on that. Well, depending upon how the price action moves, I've got a nice little window between these two, is right about a 60-cent window. So with that 60-cent window, if it runs up and touches the top and then runs back to the bottom, that right there, for every 100 shares, you're potentially making $60. And you don't have to wait till it gets all the way up. You can actually go through and using limit orders, looking at where the price is right now. So if I wanted to, I could go and say, okay, if it runs up to $2.75 a share, if it runs up, go ahead and sell 200 shares and close those out. And as soon as that sale gets triggered, I can go back in and say, okay, well, if it drops back down to $2.35, right in this little zone right in here, go ahead and buy back that many shares. So it's a way that you can sit there and increase your position just by, buying when it's low it runs back up, sell high, take those profits, turn around, and go through and figure out how much you earned from it, and you could take that 200 shares. Well, next time you buy in, you could be buying 230, 240 shares. So it's a way to keep increasing your share count, or you can just pocket that profit. Just say you had 400 shares and you wanted to play 25%. Because I usually I advocate, if you have a position, only play with 25 to 30% of it. Leave if you're playing a position that has a potential to moon, such as GameStop, such as AMC, such as PROG, and you don't want to risk a majority of the position, play 25-30% and leave that other batch of shares on the side. Don't touch those, diamond hand them. But there's nothing wrong with taking 25% of your position and using it to increase your overall position. Give me just a second here. I sold PROG for 50% loss, not buying back in for now. I want to claim it on loss. Yeah, definitely. Definitely be set up to claim it on taxes, depending on when you sold, because if you sold for a loss, you would not be able to buy back in within 30 days. Either 30 or 31 days for the wash rule. So yeah, definitely if you sold for a loss within the last 30 days, I don't, it's always possible it can rip, but I don't see PROG ripping before the new year. There's always talk about the mergers, because there are patents in place, there are potential mergers. I don't see a lot of those coming into play until Q1 of next year. So you're definitely, I think you're definitely safe, Simon. Sitting back, taking that loss and using it for a tax write-off, that is definitely a good plan. In my opinion, I definitely think that's a good plan. And if this low trend, stays on PROG, as soon as the new year kicks off, you might be able to get in at a nice low average. And look at the different channels. Look at your lines of support and resistance, and go through and see if this, of course, is not a dedicated trading plan. I'm not saying, hey, go out and play it like this, but if you see something, and I look for a rhythmic play, and to me, for PROG, looking at it, there is a potential for a nice rhythm to it. So of course I'm gonna use that to my advantage, and use that to try and not only grow a little bit of a position, but maybe grow a little bit of cash on the side and use it to throw over. And once those bull puts open back up on AMC, which I'm hoping for early in the season, in Q1, I'm looking for the bull puts to come back real good. Sold last week at 280. So it was 280. Quit moving those lines. I keep doing that. I want... Okay, we'll go 285. I'll leave that line at 285. That's a nice one. That'll give me a nice spread right there. Cassie, okay, I'm going to go fix supper now, but tweeted this video out. Good luck with your channel. Thank you for explaining. Hey, no problem, Cassie. Always, everyone's always welcome to come in and ask questions, and if they need anything explained, I will explain it to the best of my ability. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Hope you have a good dinner, and hopefully see you tomorrow, whether it's on my channel or over on Clay Bros. So Simon, you said you sold last week at 280. Do you happen to remember what your average in was before? I'm gonna grab a drink real quick here. Yeah, because I know Clay's average. I thought he said his was around 340 or 350. So Clay's shares are Clay's average is definitely up there a bit right now, and that's part of it. Uh, Wet my whistle just a bit there. That's part of why on this I like the double channel setup, and I threw my average on the screen. That way, it's a good visual indicator for me to see where the share price is as compared to where my cost average is. Your yeah, a 440 average. That was when was the last time we were at 440? Yeah, it looks like this push down right around Thanksgiving. Yeah, so you've been down since Thanksgiving on those. Yeah, that's yeah, definitely feel sorry for that right there. You don't like to take a loss, but it's nice that you recognize 280 where. Okay, so yeah, you sold somewhere on one of these peaks here, or was that last week? Not sure exactly what peak to looking for, but yeah, 280 looked to be if you're planning on taking the loss and using it for a write off, it sucks that you had to take that loss. You never want to, but hopefully that money helped you get some gains elsewhere. Guest name, I appreciate your knowledge. Yeah, not a problem. Guest name, it's I'm not the most knowledgeable trader. I'm not the best trader. I make mistakes all the time. Even on Claybro Stream, I have no problems. If I have a trade that doesn't work out, I have no problem saying, hey, I had this trade, it didn't work out, but I know what I did. And a lot of times when I have a trade that doesn't work out, it tends to be sometimes as a result of a stop loss. But I put stop losses in place so I don't lose everything. And you learn the hard way. Yeah. So a lot of this channel, it does tend to revolve around options. Options have, in my opinion, dried up right now. There's still potential to make money on the low side, but a lot of it you are taking on a lot of risk, and a lot of the trades I like to do, I like to go for a little bit more of a sure thing. Nothing's guaranteed, but I like to go for something. We can even we'll pretend that the market's in pretty good shape right now, mainly when it comes to AMC. So there are a couple things I like to do, and this is mainly in regards to AMC because it's my number one play. So I like to sell covered calls, which if you're not familiar with, if you're not too familiar with options, there are calls and there are puts. And on a call, it is calling shares away, and on a put, you are putting your shares to someone else. So in order to do a covered call, and this let me know if you are familiar with options. It's just I always like to every once in a while go through like beginner options on here, just for people who might come back and watch the replay later who aren't familiar. So for every block of 100 shares that you own, you can enter into a covered call contract. And the way that works is just like when somebody goes out and buys a call, meaning that they have the right but not the obligation to call those shares away if they choose to exercise. On the other side of buying the calls is someone who is selling a covered call. So when you pay your premium on a call contract, you're paying it to someone who is collecting that premium. For every trade, and people talk about, synthetic shares. Well, not really, but like I said, I'm willing to learn and picking it up closely. Okay, so some people, there's this thing going around that they're synthetic shares, and people are buying and selling to the ether. For every transaction, there is a buyer and a seller. And the prices you see are where a buyer and seller come to an agreement. That's where they both agree on a price. So if you had a 100 share block and you decided you wanted to sell a covered call, you are selling a covered call to someone who is buying a call. So they are buying that right, but not the obligation. They have the right to call those shares away. Now, if you are selling a covered call, your shares can be called away from you. You can lose your shares at any time. They can exercise at any time, and especially if the say I entered into a covered call and the price shoots to the moon. That person can exercise on me at any point. They can take my shares from me at the agreed upon price. So that's what you'll hear me talk about, stop losses. So we're going to look on here. Let's see if we get a good. Oh, still those open. I'm looking for a good, easy price to work with because I want to go over both on how they work and how setting a stop loss would help you. All right, so we're going to go 16 days out. So these are the calls that are expiring on January 7th. So looking at here, we're going to go ahead and use, the market's closed, so it's good because none of these numbers are going to change right now. So say I did not think that we were going to hit $37 a share. I think, by the 7th, we're going to be under this mark. So what I would do is I would go out and sell a covered call to where for every 100 shares that I put up as a covered call, I would earn $1.02 per share. So it's 100 share. Every block you do or every contract you do is for 100 shares. So I would collect $1.02 per share. It's a 100 share block, so I would collect $102. So the person buying the call is paying me $102 for the right but not the obligation to call those shares away. So I sold a covered call, but I do not want to lose my shares. So what I would end up doing is I would set up, at the same time that I sell a covered call, I would set up a buy order for this contract, because whenever you open a contract, to close it, all you do is the exact opposite. So if I sold to open at 37, I would buy to close at 37. But instead of being at the $102 or the $2 per share, what I would do is I would list a price, say, of $1.35. So basically, and that's why I wanted to find a specific price on here, because it's easier to understand. If I was going to build in a 30% stop loss, well, 30% of $100 would be 30% of that would be 30 cents. So you add that onto it, $1.30 or $1.35. That right there, you're setting up to where if the price starts to run, if the MOAS starts to happen, and say, the day before expiration or a couple days before expiration, AMC share price starts to run. If it ran through and got up to the point where instead of closing this for instead of buying it back for $130 or $135, if it ran up to $700 or $800, and I did not have that stop loss, in order to hold my shares, I would have to pay $700, $800 in order to get out of that contract. Otherwise, I lose my shares. That goes back to not risking more than 25 or 30% of your position. So if you had 400 shares and you wanted to enter, if you wanted to play 25%, well, you'd enter into one contract. You would have your 3 contracts off to the side, or you'd have your 300 shares off to the side, and diamond hand those. Don't risk those at all. But if you wanted to make a little bit extra on the side, so I could go through and collect $102, and that is mine. I can start. I can spend that. As soon as I collect it, I could turn around and spend it. Now I like to wait until after the contract is cycled and closed because, in order to have a stop loss, you want to have that capital on standby. So every time I enter into a contract, I make sure that whatever my stop loss is, I have enough money on standby to exit that position, to exit that at a loss. And on the flip side, sometimes in Claybro streams, you'll hear me say, yeah, I got out at 70% profit. I got out at 75% profit. So if this contract right here, if I enter into these covered calls and, have however many contracts that I have outstanding, and this value gets down to 20-25%, but I think that the share price could turn around and start running back up, I may lock it in. I may buy that contract out at $20, $25, $30 and bank the rest of it as profit. So if you hear somebody saying, yeah, I had covered calls and I went ahead and closed them at, I closed them at 70% profit. Well, that just means that, they exited the contract, they did not let it run to expiration, and they took their profits and got out. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. That is, I had 1 week where I sold covered calls on Monday, I bought to close on Tuesday. I sold covered calls again on Wednesday, and I bought to close on Thursday. So I had a week where I actually had 2 full rotations on covered calls, and each time I did it, I made, I was making 70-75%. And even taking 20 or 25%, there's nothing wrong with that because that's capital that you did not have. There's nothing wrong with getting in, taking profits, and looking for another trade. And that's where your day trading and swing trading comes in. Now, depending upon your account size, but before I start talking about day trading, swing trade, I probably should have put this out. There is a pattern day trading law out there. If your account is valued at under 25,000, I'm not sure it's at the beginning of business or at the beginning of the market or close of market. You have so many day trades that you can do before you get listed as a pattern day trade, and I don't know the restrictions on that, but I think it's like a 60-day restriction on entering into new positions. So if you have a smaller account and you are susceptible to pattern day trading, be wary. And each day trade, if you are susceptible, your brokerage will notify you if you have committed a pattern day trade or if you have committed a day trade. So it's important to know that when it comes to stocks have a T2 settlement, options have a T1 settlement, but that's where if you're worried about day trading, just start swing trading. You can open a position at the end of the day during market hours and exit it as soon as the market opens the next day, and you don't have to worry about it. Whether it's shares or options, the only thing you might run into, another thing you may run into, if you still have cash that is settling based on a T1 for options or T2 for shares. You may end up getting margin called by your broker if you are overextended and you have too much cash waiting to be settled. Yeah, profit is definitely the name of the game. And so one of the other strategies that I like to use, if you are on Webull, there's a drop-down menu and it's called the vertical. If you go to the put side of the house, this is what's called a bull put spread. And this is actually one of my favorite money makers because you don't stand a risk of losing your shares, and you can, your profit and loss, they're predetermined. And by that, show you an example here, and we'll go ahead and we'll pull back to the options that are ending next Friday. Give Webull a second here to load up, because I like to play bull puts on a stock that has weekly options. I don't like playing. I like playing week by week. I like having a little bit of cash flow coming in every week. Yes, stocks that just have monthly options, they're okay, but you have potential to really get in a nice rotation. And playing weeklies, you can learn your stock better. If like I said, AMC is my number one trade. So most of what I do is on AMC. Give me a second here, like pop. Okay. Had to check some other things in the background. So you'll notice on the side here, there are two different strike prices listed. That's because this is a spread. And on a bull put spread, what's happening is you are selling a cash secured put at the 26 mark, say on this one, and you are buying a put at the 25. So it comes out that your cost is actually the difference between those two options, because it's one contract, but it has two different legs to it. You're selling a put and you're buying a put on the same contract. So anytime you're selling, you have to put up collateral. And like with the covered call, you're putting up your shares as collateral. Well, on a bull put spread, you're putting up the difference in the share price, or difference in the strike prices multiplied by 100. So for these, it's $1 difference times 100. You're putting up $100 per contract. And this is just a way that if this goes south and the share price bottoms down, blows right through that, basically by putting up this collateral, that ensures that you are able to sell your put and buy your put and exit the position. This is a way for market. It's a protection, because that the collateral is actually the difference in the two contracts. So if it blew right through and all of a sudden this turned into a loss, you're already covered on it. Your collateral has, for lack of better terms, hedged you against your losses. Now the thing is, because you are selling, that means you receive a premium. So on these 25/26s, if we go over, for each contract that you enter, you'll receive 28 cents per share. So it's a 100 share block, so you'd receive $28 of premium. And again, that is yours. You collect that right off the bat. So if you look at this, you already know your maximum loss is going to be losing that collateral. And your maximum profit is going to be the premium that you collect. So looking at this, you already know your maximum loss, because you did collect that premium, would be $72. The difference between your collateral and your premium. So this is kind of a good way that, if you were looking to generate a little bit of capital, but didn't want to, you can buy shares and hold, but you're basically at that point just kind of passively trading. And there's nothing wrong with buying shares, sitting back and waiting for the MOAS to kick in. But I like to be a little bit more active. So yeah, if you take, if you had $400 laying around, and if this was, something you're interested in, wanted to get started, this is one of my favorite options to play. I'll sit there and I'll kick out a $400 block, and I'll look if it's safe to collect on a premium that is worth more than $25 per contract. So basically, I'm turning 400 and turning it into 500. And if you get in a cycle where you could do this every week, if you're making $25 per contract and selling 4, well, so that first week you sell 4 contracts and you get up to 500. The next week you can enter into 5 contracts and get $525. So you can sit there, and as you can see, you can keep building up capital, building up your position. Well, eventually you'll look over and see that you have, you've made enough money to where you can turn around and, if it lets you play long enough, and if you protect your capital, because there's always the chance that it'll drop down through these and basically turn it into a loss, which I have had happen. When we had that major push down, that was when I started backing off on options. Was that 3-4 weeks ago? So I actually halted my option trading because they were getting risky. I had ended up losing a bit of money. And luckily I was able to manage it to where I didn't lose as much as I potentially could have, but was kind of looking for the market to stabilize, looking for AMC to stabilize. But yeah, take $400, turn it into 500. Eventually, you'll get to the point where then you can enter into 6 of these and enter into 8 of these, and you can see how it can kind of snowball and really start to generate more money for you. Uh, that's why you said usually play with 25% at a time. Yeah, for me, 25% or quarters, it just it just feels good. That's why a lot of times when I'm talking about entering into both positions, especially on these, I'll talk about if you had $1,000. You'll always, if you go back through some of them, you'll always hear like, yeah, and if you're sitting on $1,000, because I like the sound of $1,000. It's got a nice sound to it. But yeah, so yeah, if you're only playing with now, if you're playing bold puts and you have a set amount that you want to play with, just always make sure. The channel, of course, is not financial advice. This is all education and entertainment. But as financial advice, I would tell you, definitely when you're entering a position, know what you want to do with it, and know what your risk is, and whatever your risk is, that should be your stop loss. And I always recommend knowing, if you're gonna have a stop loss, knowing what it is and making sure you've got the capital to execute your stop loss, because its whole purpose is to keep you from losing it all. So like on these, if I was going to enter in on them at 28, I would maybe go back behind and set a stop loss at 40 cents. That'd be a good round number. That would be a little bit closer. 40 cents, 12. My math is horrible. Yeah, let's ignore how horrible my math is. But yeah, I would look to a 35 to 40 cent stop loss if I was entering in on these. But yeah, only risking a quarter of your position, because if the MOA, and certainly this is very important for covered calls. If you're sitting on 1,000 shares and you enter into 10 covered call positions, and that is your entire share count. And even if you set your stop loss, if you're set at 30%, depending upon how much premium you collect. So say you were a little bit riskier and you collected $1.50 or $150 premium, and set your stop loss at 200. 200 on your entire position on 10 contracts. That's $2,000 if the trade goes south on you. If it starts to run, you have to spend an extra $2,000 to not miss out on the MOAS. Now, granted, of course, if it looks like it's going to rip to the moon and go up to a couple $1,000s a share, yeah, of course you pay it, but it's a lot safer to not get greedy, to know where your limits are and know how much you're willing to lose, and make sure you've got the money to absorb that loss if you have to. Why did it? Okay, switch back over. It went from live chat to top chat. I don't know why it did that. Some of the comments were out of order. That's why I was looking at it weird. But of course, all trades, if you're entering a trade, ultimately it's your decision. It's just, I tend to not like to play with more than a quarter of the position. That's just me personally. If you've got a higher risk tolerance, if you've got a higher bankroll, and can potentially absorb those losses, it's totally, everything you do in the market is your own decision. It's just, these are things that I do just to nickel and dime the hedge funds, to nickel and dime it out there, and to slowly, when I open those back up, depending upon how many contracts, that's money that I've got rolling in every week. And the further away you get from the share price, yeah, of course you're not making as much. These 2324s, you're only collecting $15 a contract. But as compared, you've got an additional $2 buffer built in. Simon, I am still here and listening. Master Sub-Zero. No, Simon, I was only Sub-Zero in the morning. It is currently up here in northern Minnesota 10 degrees. So I'm Sub-Zero plus 10 right now. Or however that would work out. Yeah, there's my pretty little PROG. Oh, what were some of the other ones? I'm going to check out a couple other little stocks here. Just some other plays I've been kicking around ideas on for long-term investing. These aren't looking to be short plays. Ugh, that is just ugly. Look at all those gaps. Holy. Quality ETF. That right there is not quality. That is madness. Madness like Sparta. Okay, what were some of the other ones? Let's check Charles Schwab. Schwab is the Schwab high dividend. That looks much like the same pattern as Invesco. That's interesting. Granted, okay, so the SPY was having some gaps also. So yeah, that does make a little bit more sense. Where are some of my other favorites at? Most days I don't even look at my overall portfolio. I just kind of pay attention to a few key things because, for the most part, the rest of my portfolio just is kind of there making money off to the side. A majority of my long-term investments, it's like, I think I've got 5 or 6 investments that don't have dividends. Other than that, out of everything else, half of it is monthly dividends and the other half is quarterly dividends. And I like dividends because they're free money. Anyone looking interesting today? It's just hard to do much of anything in the market right now because of how far down it's been pushed lately. If you have regular investments that you make all the time, try to time them the best you can. Let's have a look. That was looking interesting. Also, anything I look at, it is not an endorsement of the position. It's just me kind of looking. Now let's go out on the daily. Okay, so prospects been seeing a little bit of a pullback. That, of course, looks... Yeah, that's the market pullback right there. I have no doubt that they'll go back up. I should almost try and pick up more at a discount. Prospect Capital, it is a business development company. They basically give out loans to small businesses to help them get off the ground. So they have the potential, based on all the loan, as long as the companies they loan money out to can pay their loans back. The profits they make are kicked back over in a pretty good monthly dividend. So looking at it, last dividend I collected was 6 cents per share. And 6 cents per share on a stock that moves between 925 as a high. So basically $7.50 to $9 a share, and they pay out 6 cents a month dividend. It's a pretty good money generator for passive income, or for passive. Have a little bit that gets invested every so often in there. But I'm definitely a fan of dividend stocks, and that's part of why I like playing options on AMC, because AMC is not a dividend stock. So it's nice to be able to make it, to have it generate a little bit of capital for you, make a little bit of money off it. What else? How are bonds looking? Part of another reason why I run multiple. Now I did have other stuff on here, but I run multiple brokerages because I love Webull for their charting. I mean, I love being able, now that I found putting lines on the screen and stuff. I really like that. So I kind of I would definitely like this for the charting, but I don't like the options layout on Webull, because there are times I like to build out my own spreads. Because on Webull you don't have access to options like the broken wing condor or the broken wing butterfly, and those are four leg options to where you build in either upside or low side protection, and you can build them out to be either bullish or bearish depending upon how you think the market's going to do. Yeah, how was the last? Yeah, this is pretty nice. Last dividend, which I believe is monthly on this one, was over 38 cents per share dividend. That's not bad for bonds. Part of my thing is I like to. I've actually got it kind of spread out to where, away from AMC, I've got a growth and value. I've got 4 different ETFs that I run. I've got one that's size based, one that's based off growth and value. Then I've got a REIT ETF, which is a real estate investment trust, and then I've got high yield bonds. So I kind of use those to make up 60% of my portfolio, just because if you're not familiar with ETFs are basically a basket. It's like if you go on the SPY, this is a basket of the 500 best stocks out there, for a lack of better terms, and you can go through the ETFs and look and see how weighted they are in different positions. Another popular one you hear people talk about are the Qs, which is the NASDAQ 100. And this is just the Qs. It's 100 of the biggest tech stocks out there. So you would see things like Google, Apple, Nvidia, AMD. All of those would be here in the Qs. And of course, you got the Russell 2000, which is where AMC lives. But yeah, SPY Qs, those are both pretty good, solid investments. If you're looking towards long term. So it's nice to have a couple little money generators out there, and then you kind of take from the money generators and throw into your big guys, which would be the SPY, the Qs, SCHD being the Schwab high dividend, SPHQ, which is the Invesco high quality, or a quality ETF, and there are so many ETFs out there. It's ridiculous. So, any specific questions from the chat here? Where are we? I should have most of these memorized by now. And there's my real estate. God, I can't wait till that stabilizes. I can't wait till most of the market stabilizes. I mean, granted, I still got a nice upward channel on it. Alright, let's jump back over to AMC. What I'm hoping on AMC is by the end of the week, well, by tomorrow, kind of hoping we get some buying pressure stepping in, and if we can recapture the ascending support line, that would definitely make me a happy camper. I know I was talking with Trapper, and Trapper has some calls that are coming up tomorrow, and he was asking about those. You know, just how I thought that they, you know, he was wondering, you know, just the potential if I thought they could get up to his strike, and you know, if you're executing, it's good to get up to your strike. But if you're not planning on executing, if you're looking to take profits, you know, just to cash them out and collect money on them, it really doesn't come down to just hitting your strike price. You have to take into account your strike price and the premium you paid to open those contracts. So back on the other side, we'll jump back in here real quick. Single calls. So that was another thing on when you're buying contracts, you have to look not only at the strike price that you're going for. Say you entered in the calls for next Friday, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these. I want to buy these $33 calls because I think we'll be back up to $33 by next Friday. Well, one of the things you have to take into account with those $33 calls is the fact that you're paying $88 to open them. So as part of your position, you know, if you're looking to close it out early, then you need the price of the contract to go higher than what you paid for it, so you can sell to close. You know, if it runs up and all of a sudden this 88 turns into 200, well, you can sell it back and get, you know, $112 because you would collect the difference. But you know, you paid to open it, and you would sell to close, and you would collect the money by selling. But if you're looking to ride it to expiration, it'll continue to lose value, not only by theta, but because you know you'll be watching that $33 mark, and you're like, okay, I'm getting close to 33. Why am I still losing so much money on these contracts? And a lot of people see that, and they forget that in order to open that contract, they had to pay a premium. So your break even is actually the, you know, your strike price times 100, or you know, yeah, your break even turns out to be, or the share price plus the premium. You have to take into account the premium that you paid, because you know that's still money that you gave up. You know. What time is it? Oh wow, I've been going for an hour already. Doesn't feel like an hour. Yeah, but all in all, wasn't a spectacular day in the market. Hopefully tomorrow we close the week out a little bit stronger. Oh, guest name's still in here. Yeah, I just hope that I hope we see a little bit more buying pressure earlier in the day, because towards the end of the day, when did it really turn around? Yeah, after 14:30 when we had that nice little run up. Man, if we can get this kind of support earlier in the day, I think potentially we could recapture, and I don't see it being out of the realm of possibility to get back up into the 31 range. If we can get back up and capture, if we recapture this ascending support line, gaining some knowledge. Hey, any day someone comes in here and walks away with a little bit of knowledge, or even walks away with more questions, that is a good day in my estimation, because I still have days where I have questions that I want to go look up, and things that I'm questioning. So yeah, anytime people get knowledge, I am definitely a fan of. Hey Danelle, how's it going? I just happened to look over and see you pop into the chat. But yeah, I would absolutely love to see a recapture of this ascending support line. And depending upon how the market looks tomorrow, if we do end up making a run back up for that, might be time to do a little bit of adjusting on the lines. So anyone get rich this week playing the stock market? I'm rich with knowledge. That's my dealio. I almost wonder. I am looking at it. So we had this. No, you went to work for the man. Yeah. I wonder. So let's grab this line. Oh, come on. Grab it, rabbit. Right about 28. Oh, did I drop it at 28? Yep, dropped at 28. So I'm kind of interested to see how this 28 will hold up going into tomorrow. Still encasing this little small. Yeah, still encasing that right there. So I don't feel bad about moving that line. Which is interesting, depending upon how this trends. This buffer zone in here definitely is looking to get a little bit better. I don't want to tweak the lines too much, because one thing I have noticed with others, I'm not gonna call anyone out, but to steal a line from Matt Kors is people looking for confirmation bias. And the worst confirmation bias will come from yourself when you start moving the lines to support your own thesis. And you can honestly fool yourself into making bad trades if you're not careful. If you don't have a specific reason, you're like, oh, I can look and see how that looks instead. But the 28 is a solid dollar mark, and if you look at it, so we had the run up on the 17th. Actually, how far out is that? So yeah, we had that killer run up on the 17th, went through. We pulled back a little bit on the 20th, went down, tagged it, ran back up away from it, and then again today on lower volume, got back down to that mark again. So it'll be interesting if this will actually hold up and give us that nice little buffer right there from 25.85 up to 28. That would be a nice little buffer zone. And if, because I like my bull put spreads, if I decide to open up back up to bull put spreads, I can use these as kind of indicators to see when my bull put spreads would be, at more of a risk. So anytime you're earning spreads like that on AMC, it'll be solid dollar amounts for your options or for your strike prices on your options contracts. So looking at it, when you get down below 26, you're in risk. So 25 might be a little bit of a safe zone. So we're going to pop back over. I'm going to pull up the verticals, because your bull puts would be listed as verticals on Webull. So going off that chart, 25 is the risk point, because once you dip below 26, so these would be higher risk going off those buffer zones. Now, of course, that's right at that point where those 28s were that $28 premium that I liked. But this is about risk management, and the closer you are to the strike price, the riskier your contracts are. So it would almost be worth it to move an extra step away, go for the 24, 25s, because even going back to the chart, if you run down and you're in this danger zone, you've still got a little bit of a buffer before you hit that 25. And that's why, if I decided to, if I move this line around, it could be, I could fool myself into seeing something that I don't actually, I could fool myself into perceiving the data a different way. And that's where it comes into, fooling yourself into thinking that it's a good trade. So AMC, I look for it to hold this 28. I would love a recapture of 30 to 31 to close out tomorrow. That is not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, we see the great run up we had on the 17th. We know a run like that can happen. And I'm not even sure what I could zoom in and check the 5-minute candles and everything, but we know over the span of a day, a 20% run-up is possible, and a 20% run-up would put us over $30, would put us close to $31 a share. So I definitely think that's, it is possible, it's realistic. Do I see it happening tomorrow, being the last trading day before Christmas? It's good wishful thinking, but I don't think we're going to see enough buying pressure unless there's a whole bunch of FOMO that kicks in on a good run. So what is everyone else up to? I know Cassie popped out to make dinner. I know Simon is at the gym working out right now. What is going on with Shib? Okay, Shib's getting a little bit of a pullback there. We're on the 30-minute. Let's go on the 5-minute. far out? I wish I could set all these times on here for crypto, because crypto has some weird times on it. I wish I could set this for my time, but I haven't really dug in to see if that's possible, but kind of new to crypto and investing in general. Yeah, it was weird. I started back in January. I started with a little bit of crypto, and I really didn't understand it much, and I lost a decent amount of money. And then I started in on the stock market, and learned my lessons real quick and started doing a lot of research on it. Before I started doing options trading, I probably watched about 100 hours of videos, just different. Oh, excuse me, different videos on options. Just on what all the numbers mean, how to play them, what to look for. In doing that, I learned technical analysis. Just so many hours of watching videos, and that's part of why I wanted to do this stream, was just to, have a place to help give out knowledge to where, people can come in and ask direct questions and not have to worry about, not sift through video after video after video, trying to get a grasp on it, to where, people are smart. They can, a lot of it you can figure out quite easily, but then you get some of the questions that you can spend hours trying to figure out. But it's nice to have a place like this where you can just pop in and, hey, I had a question real quick about this, and like, oh yeah, this is what you're looking for. And that's where I'm at. Yeah, 20 million Shib, that's not a bad place to be. Kinda looking for different entry points if I wanted to pick up more Shib. My initial buy-in on Shib was at 5064, and we're at 4034 right now. So I'm definitely up on my Shib position. I was just explaining that to my girlfriend. You have great intentions. Yeah. Hey, and anyone you know who might be interested in supporting the channel, whether they're investing or not, trying to get word of mouth out and trying to grow the channel. I think we're at 54 subscribers right now, maybe 55, and hoping for 100 by Christmas. Not sure if it's going to happen, but just having people share the channel, share the videos. Oh, is that emoji for where I got in at? I actually got in on Shib the day that Webull listed it. And when I saw how low the price was, that's right now for crypto. The only crypto wallet I have is through BlockFi, and they've only got 7 or 8 different coins on there. So of course I'll use Webull, I'll use some other brokers, and I'll sit with my fancy IOUs. But yeah, I got in on Shib at 5064. Made a purchase there. I got more when it ran up to 50s, 7.1 or 712. And I've just kept on buying more and more. And let me see what my average is after all this time. My current average is actually up to 4 zeros. I'm actually down right now on it. 4 zeros and 3,400 is where I'm at right now. You have Danelle has 20 million sheep, 2, add a little more every week. Looking forward to future gains. Yeah, that's. I do not actively trade trade crypto for just in general. For me, crypto is a long-term hold. And that's part of. I've talked about the BlockFi before, and that's why on. Do I actually have this listed? Give me a second here. Follow on Twitter, Weeble. I actually, for those who might be interested in it, I'll try to get a link up on the page, but I have a BlockFi Visa card. It's a Bitcoin credit card, and every time I use it, I get 1.5% back as Bitcoin. And that is on BlockFi. So I've actually got a list of the cryptos. Let me all stocks BlockFi. Not all the one I'm in. All the cryptos that I'm in are on here, but let me make sure. Yeah. So here are the bigger ones that I'm in on BlockFi. So I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, BAT, Uniswap. I've also got Chainlink on here. Chainlink, and I forget what the other one is. I think I've got 7 different cryptos that I'm in on there. So all I'll do is when my rewards come in as Bitcoin, I'll wait for Bitcoin to run up a bit, and then I'll take my Bitcoin and I'll shift it from Bitcoin into one of the other positions to kind of shore those up and try and average out. That way, if one cryptocurrency takes a little bit of a hit, it doesn't wipe out the value of my entire wallet. But with BlockFi, let me go back to all stocks. So with that, I get 1.5% back as cryptocurrency. Well, I funded the wallet with a little bit initially, but other than that, I haven't put any more money in there, and I'm just watching it slowly start to grow. Hey, there's another bot in chat. I wish these bots would hit the like button and subscribe. But with that, so it has a stable coin to it, and the stable coin I think currently earns 9% interest, and all the other cryptos earn anywhere from I think 6% down to 3.5%, and that's on all the crypto that I hold in that wallet. So I have no problem with I could just take it all, throw it into stablecoin, and just keep collecting that 9% interest. But I like the gains that, not right now, of course, but the normal gains that I'm getting off of the crypto, and the fact that I'm getting interest on those cryptos as well. So yeah, I might put a link to that for anyone who's interested. I might put that on the channel here, a little bit further down the road. Maybe even later this evening I might go on and put the link on there. But yeah, for me, a lot of crypto, because I don't actively do anything with it. I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not out making purchases with Shib coin. So I don't really have, I don't have to have a wallet for it. Granted, if there's a way I can, I think it was Clay was talking about staking in one type of coin, and you earn interest every month in the form of Shib coin. Yeah, that might be something I'm interested in. Look into getting additional wallets. I know I'm going to have I got to start learning about NFTs, because I've got my first NFT coming from owning AMC, and I'm totally clueless. If any of y'all know about NFTs, let me in on the skinny on those, because I have no clue about them. But I want to be able to have my NFT and be like, hey, yeah, look at my wallet, I've got an NFT in here. That would be great. Sounds like something as far as the As far as the BlockFi credit card, Danelle? Yeah, and I think I'm not sure. I think I would earn crypto rewards also for that. So it's kind of a snowball. You get your friends to get in on it, and you get a little bit of extra crypto, and they start earning interest and earning more money on it. But yeah, my last. Hey, more bots in here. Dude, I should just leave this. Keep this going as long as possible. See just how many bots I can get in here. This is wonderful. Look, these bots look Russian though. Looking at the characters. I think it's a Cyrillic is Russian. So yeah, my I got a card trading rebate and I got a credit card reward, and I end up getting point zero 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 eight of a Bitcoin, and that's what my reward was for December or for November into December. So certainly, it certainly is a good way to slowly start building up and build up passively, because what I did with it is I've got like Netflix, and I've got Disney Plus, and I've got my car insurance and my cell phone. Well, I set all those up to auto pay on that credit card, and then when it comes due, I just pay the credit card off and just keep collecting that 1.5%. I am already up for next month. I've already got another $30 worth of Bitcoin coming to me. My husband just downloaded his first Spider-Man NFT. Kind of hard to figure out. Just watched YouTube videos. Yeah, that's. I know I'm gonna have to look something up to figure out how to get it done. But I've got to look and see. I thought someone said you need an Ethereum wallet or something. Or I don't understand how any of it works. So I'm definitely gonna have to watch a lot of videos to start to understand it. But yeah, it looks like I've already got another $30 worth of Bitcoin coming my way, and all my cryptos on their own have earned about $2.40 worth of interest I've earned. So that's and over time, it may not seem like much at first, but that snowball effect. I think it was Winston Churchill said, "Compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe." He put it in Wax Wallet. Let me get my. NFT. Oh, NFT, not NFF. Wax Wallet. Question mark. Okay, cool. At least he gives me a little start point to start my research on it. This one is doing surprisingly well. I was not a fan of this when I got into it. I don't own any credit cards, nor have I ever, but I should get one of those. Yeah, it's and so of course this is an NFA channel, but I actually heard about the channel from a financial advisor, or heard about the credit card from a financial advisor, and that was what got me into the into BlockFi. So yeah, I'll definitely since I know that there are at least two people who might be interested in, I'll definitely get that link up on. I'll try to get it on the channel tonight, and that way anyone who's interested in looking. When I got the BlockFi credit card, I actually got in fairly quick, and I was hearing stories that there were people who they were people were saying like, yeah, I'm like number 32,000 in line to get this card, and I was like, holy. No, I was just shocked that at one point there were like 35,000 people on a waiting list to get one of these credit cards. Kind of like the logo. I'd rock it on a hat. Oh, which logo is that? The channel logo or the Bitcoin logo? So I'm not even sure where. I know when I got in on BAT, I know I got in below $1. I thought it was like 89 cents or something when I got into it. Oh, for the carbon fiber Viper, yeah, that's I had fun. I had fun looking up, looking trying to figure out what to put for the logo on it. Yeah, eventually. So if y'all want to help get the word out, when I get up to, I may do it before then, but I know for sure, as a celebration when I finally get up to 1,000 subs, and I might do it again at at 500 and then at 1,000. I might give away carbon fiber hoodies, and depending upon when I hit 100, I might have a shirt done up, and give out a shirt, maybe even. Oof, I don't know how that would work as far as giving it out on Clayro's stream, because I know that there are a lot of people on his stream that aren't in here. So I'd probably post like ahead of time saying when it would be for the shirt, but I could definitely see doing a giveaway for a carbon fiber shirt. I was gonna send one to Clayro, but I think I asked him like 3 or 4 times to get me his PO box address so I can mail it to him. And he's busy, of course, between his streams and doing videos and stuff. But the last couple of weeks, I forgot to remind him of it. I don't even have a shirt for myself yet. I listen to Claybro while I work when I can. Yeah, it's the same thing. I've got a little Bluetooth speaker that I usually throw in my pocket. That way, I work up on a ladder or boomed up in a bucket truck working on utility poles. So a lot of times I just throw the speaker in the pocket and I'm just listening to what's going on in the background. Message you on Twitter and I'll get. Okay, yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I can definitely do that. And I don't know how long it takes to get them delivered, because it's these shirts won't be you know I can't wait to get my Claybro shirt, but the ones that I have are actually come from Streamlabs. They take your logo and put it on, shirts and stuff like that. I want to kind of find like Claybro shirts have the YouTube on the side. We figure out the NFTs and we need to make sure channel logo. Oh, that'd be cool to have a channel logo NFT. I don't know how they work. Like I said, I see on Twitter people talk about NFTs all the time, and I just don't understand them. I probably should do a lot of research on them to try and figure all that out. What else is going on? Yeah, it has been such a down market for the past month. I have other than regular investments and some of the option trading I've done, I have just not been paying attention to anything going on my portfolio. I've been totally neglecting, not really neglecting it, but I've been oh my god. I was looking at all my dividends that are coming in this in the next month or so, all the way through January. Wow. Oh my god. That's part of why I want AMC to moon so bad. I've got a full portfolio that I'm just, after I pay off everything I own to anyone forever, I'm just gonna take my portfolio and part of the profits I'll look for the next MOAS potential stock. But other than that, I'm just gonna put in my retirement portfolio and just let that keep growing. Change it up to increase my 401k to where I'm contributing like 25-30% a month, and the rest of it pay my recurring monthly bills, and the rest of it just start putting it into high yield investments like the SPY, like the Qs, like JNK, like VNQ, into my core four, and just watch them explode. A lot of people in WSB group making fun of NFTs because they're supposed to be unique, but people can screenshot and sell. I'm not sure about the NFT thing. Tried to get NFT from AMC movie tickets for Spider-Man. Website keeps giving me a lot of errors, saying email was already taken. Tried to reset password, never let me in. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely not good. Really, the only NFT that I would have, 'cause if I get them for free or whatnot, that'd be cool. I don't understand people saying they're going out spending thousands of dollars on an NFT. I don't see what the point of that is. But I want to get an NFT wallet just so I can have my AMC owners NFT. Like, yeah, here's my proof of ownership of the company. It was 3 a.m. and I was still trying and trying. Got tired of giving me errors and had to wake up at 5 a.m. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that does not sound like a good experience with NFTs. Yeah, I'm actually hoping this weekend to go out and see the new Spider-Man. Of course, I work tomorrow. I've got Friday off, and I do not go back to work until the 3rd of January. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing more streaming during the midday rather than doing the 45-50 minute midday updates, rather than doing I'd rather do the clay to clay live stream. Those were kind of fun last time I was on vacation. Saw people sharing screenshots of NFTs and Wall Street bets. Oh. Yeah, but I think you can have a screenshot of a NFT, but I don't think that works the same, because I thought the whole thing by an NFT is it's like a digital certificate of COA, to where I thought there was some kind of digital code that is like your proof of ownership rather than just a screenshot. So I don't know how a screenshot would be, because it wouldn't have the. Cause I thought part of it was having to deal with having, like, a digital code written on it. I may be wrong, of course. Like I said, I don't know about. I don't know about them. That's. So what is everyone else up to? Oh my gosh! So here's a funny one for y'all, and it's actually cool that y'all are. This is a cool group to go over or to talk about this with. So this is the funny thing behind me having this channel. Uh, Clay was talking about introverts, and I actually am a huge introvert, and I had wanted to do a YouTube channel for quite a while, but I just I've done a little bit of public speaking before, like teaching classes when I was in the army and whatnot, but I'm not a fan of public speaking, and so for this was like a pretty huge endeavor for me to be sitting here in front of a camera and to be talking to talking to people who are on the other end of it. And I just look at the little red light, and it's like I'm talking to the light. But every once in a while, when I start to think, like, man, there are other people there are people on the other side of that light. It's just kind of funny that Clayton brought that up today, because it's like, yeah, I'm definitely one of those introverts that he was talking about, and maybe I'm not as introverted as I thought it was, or maybe I'm just getting better at talking to people, and maybe jumping on and modding the channel, and typing in chat with people. Maybe that kind of helped me be more, not really outgoing, but at least in the digital sense, more open to people. Maybe you can keep NTF in a special wallet where you can trade, kind of like crypto wallet. Screenshots would be worthless there. A lot of people out trying to sell NFTs also. Yeah, and I wonder if I thought there was like people were saying that there's like a place in Reddit, or what's that other one? Oh, I can't think of it now. Give me a second here. It'll drive me crazy if I don't actually. Oh, Discord. That's one of my things. If I'm if there's something that goes in my brain, like if I get asked a question, or if I'm trying to think of something, it will drive me crazy if I don't look it up. So yeah, I thought there was something in Reddit or a Discord channel for people trading, NFTs. Like I said, I never got into any of that before. Guest name, I'm watching you. Yeah, I see you on the other side of the lens watching me. Danelle, well, you're doing a great job. You should be proud. I am proud not only of myself, but also of everyone on the channel who's come in here. Granted, I don't have special effects or anything, or cool intro music, but this channel has definitely been built by the community that supports it. And everyone in here, DD214, Trapper's been in here a lot, Marine Corps Brat, Wrestler, so many good people have come in here, asked questions, participated, or just, pop in and like, hey, I'm just popping in, thought I'd hit the like button, can't stay. But, it's still good to get that kind of support from the community. And, it's, without the community, the channel wouldn't grow. And, that's part of the whole word of mouth. If you know someone who is interested, or someone who just might support the channel, that's I've got friends and family members who really have no interest in the stock market, but they ran in, they tagged that subscribe button just to just to help the channel out. They know it's important to me, and they know that I'm trying to do good things for the community, and that's just you gotta, Claybro said before, you just got to put in the time. And I'm sure if I asked talk to any other YouTuber, they'd be like, yeah, you just got to put in the time, gotta grind it out, and try and put forth the best content you can. And thank y'all so much. You are not a big fan of speaking in public. You said, now imagine when it comes to start sending like, yeah, that is definitely something I had thought about, Simon. That is the benefit of not being monetized yet, but I think I would actually welcome being able to cut loose. I think doing those definitely would take a lot of stress out. I could, we saw the unicorn on the video for Claybro, and I don't know how well you can see, but I've definitely got the hair to do quite a tall unicorn, so I could actually go and put a whole bunch of rubber bands in it and have like a hanger, so have something to put in there to make it stand up. Because I've actually got some pretty decent long hair, so I just always have it back for work. But yeah, I believe it was during practice a salt shaker. No, we're not gonna practice a salt shaker just yet. I did on the very first live stream I did. Did I lose the stream there? Are we back? Are we back in here? I noticed I had an icon telling me the live stream was lost. It looks like it's back up and running again. Oh, I'm good now. Okay, yeah, I saw the little the red icon pop up on Streamlabs. I'm like, okay, so this is what Clay experiences. But yeah, during the very first live stream, thought you lost. No, that was on my end. During the very first live stream, I did on request do the LPDP just for a split second. Oh, and Claybro's second video's up already, so I don't know about first comments. But yeah, I definitely look forward to having more fun on the channel, getting more people in here, and being able to cut loose. And I think that'll definitely I want to have some of the goofiness that we get on Claybro stream. I want to bring some of that over here onto this channel, and as an homage to the great Claybro. You can practice the salt shaker and unicorn right now. There's not a big that's a nice try, Simon, but I want to God. What happens here tonight stays here tonight. Oh, is this like Vegas now? Do it. God. I will do it if all three of you promise to bring another subscriber into the channel either this evening or tomorrow. Can each one of you make that promise that you're going to bring one new subscriber in? So if I get 3 yeses, I should almost do a poll. That'd be kind of funny. It's a good way to break through your shell. Yeah. So I'm watching the chat here and seeing if I get 3 promises to bring new subscribers in. I've been trying to get JB, but he's busy during this time. Yeah, let me all right. My typing is atrocious. New subscriber. Oh. Oh wow, I really spelled that wrong. Oh wow, Danelle already got someone. Oh, wait. Oh, there's the poll. Sarah Martin, welcome to the live stream. All right, now I can see what to. Where can I see how many? I can't see how many. Oh, 3 votes, 3 votes. Oh, there's Wrestler with the eggplant. We're up to 3 votes now. Eggplant do it. Okay, so we now have an official live stream because Wrestler's in here and Wrestler dropped the eggplant. See, that's one thing people don't realize. It's not an official live stream until Wrestler comes in and drops an eggplant. All right, now am I doing the Claybro salt shaker? Up to 4 votes. Set it to okay, I got to figure. Now I'm in the hot seat. 4 votes. Can we get one more vote? Wrestler, did you see the poll? We're trying to. Do we get a 5th vote in here? Oh, Wrestler hates polls. Now, see, that's an interesting thing, Wrestler. Do you hate poles as in utility poles that hold up power lines? Do you hate poles where people are asking? Because the way you spelled it, because I thought a pole is P-O-L-L. So you hate poles. But then, of course, my family name is Mielzak because I am of Polish descent. So are you saying you hate people from Poland? Because that's absolutely horrible. All right. We're gonna go ahead and polls are cool. All right, we'll go ahead and end the poll. Ooh, we got 100% yes, so we're gonna go ahead and All right, so, oh, that's right. Let me kind of blow this up here. So you have to look at my ugly face here for a minute. Is that large enough? Is that big enough for everyone here? Did the screen get larger? Just asking. Anyone reply? That's perfect. Okay. So, what I'm going to do when never big enough. So I'm going to take my salt shaker and pour me a little bit of salt without looking, and just kind of blindly, I'm just going to throw it over my shoulder. And because salt tastes so good, I'm going to take me a little bit of salt, and I'm going to... Oh, man, that wasn't salt, that was pepper. What the... That was not what I was looking for. That was supposed to be salt. It's y'all's fault. You distracted me. I picked up the pepper instead. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Mr. Frank. Yeah. Yeah, I did not even realize I don't have a salt shaker here. That was actually a pepper shaker. So I know, I think it was wrestler Simon who snuck in and swapped out the salt shaker for the pepper shaker. So, oh, thank you, guest name. Thank you so much. Thank you, Danelle. That was funny. Oh man, this has actually been one of the funnest live streams of all the ones I've done so far. It was certainly great having, well, we got our first poll out of the way. Went through and really was nice having guest name asking all the different questions as far as options go. It's always nice to get someone in, who's new to certain aspects of the market. Yeah, so I certainly love imparting that knowledge. Oh, wow, we got a lot of... That was funny. I actually laughed out loud. Well, thanks, Janelle. Thanks, Janelle. You got a couple more subs, too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have no problem. I will certainly make... I do not have a problem with acting out, being goofy. It certainly will help me. I don't want to say being more outgoing, but it certainly makes me feel more relaxed and to be able to have a little bit of fun here. Because there are times I feel like I'm just delivering a monologue of numbers and graphs and stuff like that. It's nice to be able to cut loose and have a little bit of fun in here. Get me all broken. Yeah, that is definitely, that was fun. So I've done the salt shaker, I've done the LPD Pete, so we'll time out the other ones. That's, well, no, I didn't do the salt shaker, I did the pepper shaker. Just share the live stream on Twitter right before the salt shaker. We got two viewers turkey poking in and out of here accomplished. Yeah, I guess name. I'm also thankful for everyone who comes in and don't even have to participate. Just popping in and sharing in some of the humor, sharing, listening, and maybe coming up with questions for next time, or just absorbing some of the chronology. A lot of people pronounce it knowledge, but that's just being lazy, not pronouncing all the letters. It's chronology. We got two viewers turkey peeking in and out of here. What do you mean by turkey peeking? It's So I can't actually see the viewer count with everything I have up on the screen right now. I have to keep bouncing in between the windows. Thanks for all the knowledge you share with us, Frank, and for taking time out of your day to teach us. Yeah, that is and also if you get a chance, thank Devil's Advocate, because for those who don't know who don't know the story or haven't heard the story, uh, I had I had I'd been kicking around the idea of putting out some options videos. And one day, it was on a Friday, I'd gotten a message on Twitter from Devil's Advocate, and he wanted to know if I could spare a few minutes because he had some questions. He had options expiring that day, and he had questions about them because he was fairly new to options and had some wasn't sure what he should do with them, or if he still had potential to make money on them. And it got me thinking about how many times during the live stream people were talking about, hey, I was looking at these calls, or I got these calls, or I got these, and what should I do with them? And it kind of hit that there are people out there investing hundreds of dollars or even thousands of dollars on something that they're not too familiar with. They're viewing video from a distance without being seen. Oh, Turkey. Oh, okay. But it was so I told Devil's Advocate, it's like I'm at my 8 to 5 right now, but if you don't have a problem with calling, so I gave him my cell phone number, and when I'm at work, I usually got a Bluetooth headpiece in, because DOT and everything, we have to, if you're driving, you have to have a hands-free headset. So I'm sitting there, doing my regular job, and so I gave him my number, and he called almost immediately. Like, I was shocked. I couldn't even put my phone away in my pocket after sending the reply on Twitter before my phone rang. And Devil's Advocate and I, we spent about an hour on the phone, and I went through and explained, different aspects of it, most of which I've touched on here on live streams. But it got me thinking that how many people are losing money because they don't either don't know the specifics of what they're looking at, or they don't know what kind of questions to ask. So that was a lot of why I wanted to start the channel. And I actually I had planned. We got one. Oh, that's a fish in a fishing pole. Okay, I was trying to figure out what that emoji was. But yeah, so I had actually planned to launch it the following week when I was on vacation. And, after hearing, after talking to him on the phone, it's like, why wait that extra week? So I actually, that was on a Friday. Well, I spent that weekend setting the channel up, and during the live stream, during Claybro's live stream, I was like, hey, I've got the channel, it is all set to go. And that was I was on vacation that week, and that was the first, pretty sure it was that week. And I ended up having that first stream, and it was like 2 hours and 16 minutes, counting the 30 minutes hanging out on Claybro's channel. But yeah, that stream ran for over 2 hours. And it was just nice to be able to get that information out. And as long as there are people looking for that information, I'll keep doing this. I would certainly love to at least do a live stream every day when the market's or every day during the week, whether it's a midday update, or like we're doing right now, an aftermarket stream. But as long as there are people looking for information, or just looking for a place to hang out, yeah, I have no plans for this channel to wrap up. I enjoy doing this. I love the community. I love spending time hanging out with y'all, whether it's Clayro's channel or on here, and it'd be nice for us to hit the MOAS and I can become my own boss and not have to go, not have to do an 8 to 5 job, and I can just wake up, start streaming a half hour before the market opens, run my stream up until Claybo starts his morning stream, pop over, to take a break from the streaming, because it does, I don't know, to see, before doing Claybro's stream, or watching his, I'd be listening at work to Matt Kors and hearing him go for 7 or 8 hours straight. It's like, and he at the end of it, you could see, he was kind of tired from it. You could see he was tired, and I get it, because doing my regular job, and then on lunch break jumping on and doing a little bit of an update, and then going back to work, and then after work popping on right now for a stream like this. Yeah, Wrestler, you got him, man. But yeah, it'd be nice to stream before the opening of the market, and then take a break when Claybro goes on, and Claybro goes for his lunch break, jump on and do a midday update, or a midday market update for anyone who had questions about any options that they were looking to jump into, and then midday hop back off, go on Claybro's channel because he comes on about halfway through Power Hour and then runs an hour after market. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to just kind of bounce back and forth, doing a handoff with Claybro, and of course support his channel as much as I can, because there might be YouTubers out there who wouldn't like someone going on their channel and pumping their own channel during someone else's live stream. And it's good it's certainly good that Clay lets me go on there. It doesn't have a problem with me dropping the link for my channel in there, and it's funny because a lot of it started with just kind of on his stream going through and typing out. Remember, I used to always type out the options updates, what the changes are in the option chains and everything. But now it's certainly moved just beyond giving out those numbers. Now that there's a place where people can come in and ask whatever questions they might have. And speaking of, oh no, not both calls. Let's have a look at our options for tomorrow's calls. So looking at the calls, it is always to be expected that you see your $5 increments. If you look at your 30, 35, and 40, those $5 increments, those are key psychological levels. Those are where people, when they're looking for a place to go, a lot of people will gravitate towards those $5 marks. Oh, I gotta go. Have a good night, guys. Hey, good night, Danelle. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you wanna pop out, put this channel on. If you share it to Facebook or to Twitter or anything like that, help get word out for the channel. It is greatly appreciated, as is you stopping by and spending a little bit of time with us this evening. So yeah, a lot of the time you'll see people will gravitate towards these $5 markers, because those $5 increments, those are key psychological levels. And just looking at it, you can see, if you look at the $30 mark, so you got 11,700 open contracts expiring tomorrow at that mark. If you look, if you add up the strikes on either side of it, you're almost equaling the same amount. Same thing, you pop up here, 15,000 contracts. You go above 7,000, you go below 8,000. You add up these two strike prices, and you're getting almost the same value. So people will gravitate towards those $5 increments. Oh, Wrestler, we'll jump over to PROG in just a second here. I'll see if I can get some subscribe. Yeah, definitely, Danelle. It will be greatly appreciated. Like I said, I've got friends and family who subscribe, and I almost wonder if sometimes I'm like, hey, you can share my channel if you know anyone looking. I annoy my family with that as far as if they know people who might be interested in subscribing. But yeah, so you can see that people tend to gravitate towards those $5 increments. Now, an important thing about these $5 increments is if you are selling covered calls, it can be a little bit safer of a place to go $1 above those $5 increments. So, if you felt risky, if it was within your risk tolerances, there's going to be a whole lot of resistance because anyone who is shorting the stock doesn't want to see a lot of contracts expire in the money. So you're going to get a lot of resistance at the $30 mark because they don't want almost 12,000 contracts popping in the money. They don't want almost 15,000 contracts popping in the money. So looking at that and knowing that, knowing where people gravitate towards, knowing where the psychology of the investor is. Now, next week has not filled out as much, but again, you look at the $30 mark. You take the strike prices bookending it, and those two prices alone almost equal your $5 increment. So it can kind of give you an idea of where there might be a safe place to drop a covered call in. Now, because I don't like the zone of a run-up with how close it is, because we're almost at we're a little bit above 28.50. We're not too far off the 29 mark. So 30 would be a higher risk location to drop a covered call. So bounce up another $5. Look at your 35. Give yourself that $1 buffer. So if you were looking to, you could drop covered calls on the 36 mark. Looking at it, your premium, you'd be collecting $50 per contract. Not spectacular money, but looking at where we are, that is almost the equivalent to being able to buy 2 extra shares. And that's the whole thing behind, doing plays like these and nickel and diming them. It gives you a way to make a little bit extra money and get a few extra shares here and there, or depending upon how many contracts you drop. If you're collecting $50 premium, well, as soon as the market closes, if it runs to expiration and you get that $50 and your shares are released. Well, if you sold 2 covered calls, you collected $100 in premium. That means the following week you're open to go ahead and enter a bull put spread because you'll have to drop $100 collateral on your bull put. So you would sell those, collect your premium. And we'll use this week, but just picture that you're running into the next week, and you're looking at the same values. So looking bull puts, you collected that extra $100. You're looking on the low end now. So 25 would be your key psychological level. You would drop below that because 25 will be a battleground. So your 24, 25s would be your safer, and you'd collect another. You'd put up $100 collateral on your bull put spread, and you'd collect another $22 a premium. And if this ran to expiration, and if it traded, if AMC traded in a channel, and at no point were you at threat of getting exercised on, well, you essentially took 200 shares, entered into a covered call, made premium, turned around, sold a bull put spread. So in the span of 2 weeks, And the whole time that's going on, as soon as your shares get released on your covered call, you can re-enter your covered call again the following week. And now you've created it to where you're bookending. You're running your covered calls on your high side, and you're running both puts on your low side. As long as your stock, trades within a channel or trades sideways, and never gets close to those two, which is where the 40 zone was for me before for AMC. But if you get that nice little zone that it's not going to move away from, you can play both the high side and the low side and make money as long as it trades sideways. So Wrestler was putting up for PROG. Are you saying you want to look at PROG, or is that your battle cry? Because when I look at PROG, no options, I've stated before, I am not looking to do options on PROG right now, or probably ever again, unless if PROG starts making a run up to the International Space Station. I don't think PROG will moon, but I think it's definitely possible it'll run up to the International Space Station. I might buy some puts to cover the way back down. I might make money as it comes back down to where it's going to end up being at. But fundamentally, as a company, I think that PROG definitely should be valued a lot higher than it's been running right now. And how far out? If we go further out, so this was last year. PROG was looking to be like a $7.50 to $10 a share company. Now there are mergers in the work, there are patents in the work, there are a whole bunch of potentials for PROG to really gain momentum, really start running. This run up here to 620, that was so nice. Whole bunch of I think that was actually I think that was a partial cover. I think there were some shorts, a fairly decent, I think it was almost 33% or 30% of the shorts that were open at the time got covered. So the short interest, it ended up bringing the short interest, I think it was at like 12% when this happened, and 4% covered, which was, was 33% or a third of the outstanding shares, did end up getting covered. So it still got, I think at that time it was still an 8% short interest. But I think that's actually gone back up since then. I need to get some Ortex numbers for it just to confirm at some point. But yeah, right now for PROG, I am loving, and I mentioned this on Claybro Stream, that I've got a nice little double channel that I'm watching. Well, dips down, touches the low line. That's when you start buying your shares. We're actually below that right now, so we're in the discount zone. The super good day after Christmas sale. And if it runs back up, runs back up to the top of this, if you're playing not options but playing with 100 shares straight up, that's a $60 swing right there every time you do it. And you don't have to wait for that full swing. You can catch it. That's the great thing about dealing with shares. You don't have to wait for the even dollar amounts. You can just buy and sell at whatever price you happen to be at. Shares a lot of time, or options a lot of time, depending upon the price of the stock, it'll be a 50-cent increment. It'll be a $1 increment, $2, $2.50, $5. The increments are already set in place. But if you're playing with shares, it's whenever you would like. So yeah, I'm looking on PROG to start day trading and swing trading shares. And of course, you always hear the talk about payment for order flow on some channels. If you're doing market orders, payment for order flow is a way for you to lose money. If you're doing limit, if you're buying by limit, selling by limit, if you're setting your prices, you've pretty much already come to terms with where you want to buy or sell at. So, of course, you always want to get the best price possible. But if you're okay, if I set a limit to to sell at $2.90 a share to go ahead and sell when it hits there, and it gets up to gets up to there, but a penny that I would never see per share. It kind of is stealing. It goes back to, I think that was like Superman 2. It goes back to Office Space. There have been a whole bunch of movies about skimming that extra penny or that tenth of a cent off. But if I've already come to grips with setting a limit price, and if I can get executed at that limit price, yeah, it happens. If they skim that off, they're going to make money somehow. There's no such thing as 100% free lunch in the market. There's always going to be some mechanism for the brokerage that you're using to make money. And I know Claybro, he really doesn't have a problem with payment for order flow. But yeah, if you're setting everything up and using your limit orders, really you're negating a lot of the negative effects of payment for order flow. So yeah, I really don't have that much of a problem with it. And I'm just I'm going to be using that to day trade and swing trade prog, and just keep growing my position and keep not only growing my share count but also growing capital off of it. Oh my goodness, it is almost 7:40 here already. That is awesome. Well, thank you, guest name. Oh, wrestler hid them. Been here for a couple hours. Yeah, it's I think I launched right at 5:15 my time. So yeah, it's been almost 2.5 hours already. So yeah, that's it is definitely great. I was worried. Yeah, I worry sometimes about shorter live streams when there's that it's going to be a short live stream when when it's not been a good day in the market. On those red days, everyone just kind of wants to take a step back and you know party time. Yeah, party time. On a red day, it can be hard to look at the market. It could be, and I've stated this on here before that, you know, if the market is too red for you, if it's painful to look at, turn your screen off. You don't have to, stare at the market, 24 hours or the whole time the market's open. You don't have to be staring at your screen. You can, if it's too much and you need a break from it, turn your screen off. Go out for coffee or something. Go do yoga. Go hit the gym like Simon does after work. If you're just watching the market go down and turn red and keep turning red and keep turning red, at some point you got to kind of ask yourself, is it starting to stress you out? And that's part of taking care of yourself is making sure that that this is a little bit of life coaching. You got to make sure that you're in a good mental place. You got to make sure you got your mind right. And if seeing all the red in the market, is affecting you, if it's stressing you out, turn it off for a while. Just take a break from it, get away from it, and relax, breathe, and let me move this back to where I wanted it. Somewhere around there. Then I'll stop spamming. $11. I'm in. We're busy tonight. Yeah, have yourself a good evening, Simon. We will see you tomorrow in Claybro stream. But yeah, definitely. If the market gets a little bit much for you, to take a step back, go out, relax, do something that do something positive, do something creative, and when you're good to go, come back in and see how the market's doing. Unless you've got active trades going, if you're actively trading, and that's why the bull puts. I like the bull puts because you can play them when the market's trading sideways, when nothing's going on. If you're careful with them, you can play it on a slightly downturn market, or you can play the high end against the market going down. I only get paid once a month, so I have a set amount of cash I can invest, trying to get it right before I go far into something. Yeah, definitely. I've got my 8 to 5 job, and there's only you only get paid so much money, and that's why I like having ways to pick up I'm not looking for huge gains out of playing some of the options that I play, but it is nice to have a little bit of extra cash coming in. And that's the thing also on some of these, let's go back in on AMC options, vertical, puts. So when you look at it, the further away you get from the current price, the less premium you're going to receive. But also, that gives you more safety because you're not making as much money. You can go up, and if you want to play thirds, well, you can play the 26-27s. Well, you're less than $2 away from bracketing, from having the share price drop inside of your bracket. So, okay, playing 30%, that's risky. Well, you can drop down, play quarters. You can, the further away you get, every bracket you move down, you're building in another dollar worth of buffer. You're building in another dollar worth of safety. And the trade-off is you're collecting less premium. But, if you enter into these higher risk plays where you're getting higher premium and you're setting stop losses, or it's running down and forcing you to close out, what's the point of playing higher risk if you're not winning as much? I would rather have a higher win rate for less premium, for less money coming in. And I've mentioned this before on Clay Stream that when it comes, if you get rid of PROG, if you throw PROG out of the equation, because options on PROG, part of it was me getting greedy, hoping for calls to print. So we'll kind of ignore PROG, but if we throw PROG out of the equation, I've got about an 80% win rate when it comes to doing bull put spreads and doing covered calls. And most of the times when I lose, I don't lose more than 30% because I set my stop losses in place. And looking at my losses at 30% versus all the gains I make, even the gains where I'm only making 10-15%, I've made more money by being safer than I've lost in stop losses. So the old adage of slow and steady wins the race. You can move away from move away from the current share price with your strikes, get into a safer zone, and just give up a little bit of premium for a little bit more safety. And there's nothing wrong with taking the safer route, because this is your money. These are your investments. It's your future you're investing in. So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of being a little bit safer with it. But we have been going for over 2.5 hours now, so I am going to end up wrapping up the live stream. It's been a lot of fun. I certainly have enjoyed it, and I definitely enjoyed doing the pepper shaker. That was a nice little icebreaker. But I want to thank everyone who stopped by in the live stream. I work hard for it too. Yep, definitely. Yeah, good night to you, guest name. I'd like to thank everyone who came in the live stream. Guest name, Wrestler, Simon, Danelle was in here. Sarah Martin. Going through, I'm scrolling up, checking all the names. I can't pronounce the names of the bots that were in here. Cassie was in here earlier on. Yep, Simon. So yeah, hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and let's all look forward to having a good day in the market tomorrow, and let's hope we see some green to close the week out. So everyone have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow, and thank you for coming by. If you can drop a like, and go out and share the channel on social media. It's greatly appreciated. And stay blessed. Yes, bright blessings to you. Bright blessings to you as well, guest name. And I will see all of you tomorrow.